Waltz doubles down, and the mark. It's 5 and 10 from Skywatch TV. 5 things you need to know in about 10 minutes for Friday, December 5th, 2025. I'm Derek Gilbert. Thank you for your patience yesterday. I was away having some medical testing done, and I'll tell you about that, give you a health update at the end of this program. Meanwhile, please follow us on Telegram. You can also find us on YouTube at 5 in 10, where you can subscribe, share, click that bell for notifications, hit the like button, and on X, formerly Twitter, at 5_in_10. Item number 5 today, the January 6th pipe bomber. CNN host Jake Tapper was blasted online after he falsely identified the now accused D.C. pipe bomber Brian Cole Jr. as a white man. Now, CNN didn't show a picture of Mr. Cole when they ran the story, but quick search around the internet shows that Mr. Cole is indeed an African American. That statement appears to be now grossly misleading at least, and extremely careless at best. It's hard to believe that CNN would think that they could misidentify this particular gentleman and get away with it in the age of the internet. But it does appear at the very least he was promoting a political and racial bias by assuming that if this pipe bomber connected to the January 6th, 2021 riots was white, simply because if he was connected to J6, well, then he must be from MAGA country. Well, that happens not to be the case. The New York Post reports that Cole's father is also black and once enlisted the services of Benjamin Crump, an attorney best known for his racial discrimination cases. You might remember Mr. Crump from such high-profile cases as Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, and yes, George Floyd. According to an FBI affidavit filed on Wednesday, Cole works in the office of a bail bondsman in Northern Virginia, resides in a single-family home in Woodbridge with his mother and other relatives. Item number 4 today, the mark. In a document published in the October Bulletin of the World Health Organization and funded by the Gates Foundation, the World Health Organization is proposing a globally interoperable digital identity infrastructure that permanently tracks every individual's vaccination status from birth. This proposed system would integrate personally identifiable information with socioeconomic data, such as household income, ethnicity, and religion. It would deploy artificial intelligence for identifying and targeting the unreached and combating misinformation. Remember, the World Health Organization claims the right to fight infodemics because they are world health crises, don't you see? Those of us spreading dis, or malinformation need to be brought under the control of the World Health Organization. This would also enable governments to use vaccine records as prerequisites for education, travel, and other services. This, frankly, puts the dis in dystopian. They're not even shy about putting this out in public anymore. And the sad part is, a lot of people around the world will think this is a great idea. Just remember, we're not that far removed from 2021, when there were a lot of people in the media, the corporate media, and on social media, saying that those of us who refused the jab should be locked up and kept apart from the rest of society. Item number 3 today, Somali soda. Governor Tim Walz is doubling down less than a week after the New York Times, of all outlets, savaged Governor Walz over a massive and sprawling fraud scandal involving Somalians that federal prosecutors say siphoned off more than $1 billion from the state's social safety net programs. Walz is opening yet another avenue for fraud. He is giving away taxpayer-funded leave to illegal immigrants. Under the Minnesota Paid Family and Medical Leave Program, which goes into effect January 1st, undocumented workers will receive benefits. That would mean payments to Minnesota residents who need time away from work for serious health reasons or to take care of a family member like an ill relative or a child, an infant. What's more, if an individual qualifies for both medical and family leave, they can double dip, get taxpayer funds for up to 20 weeks. That's 5.5 months each year. Each year. Those receiving benefits can also top off paid leave by using paid time off, vacation time, sick days, vacation hours, in addition to the leave of absence. Program beneficiaries receive between 55 and 90% of their regular wages on paid leave, up to a maximum amount of $5,692 per month. Walz was asked on Tuesday about potential fraud, and he responded, quote, "Are people going to abuse the program? How disrespectful to people to assume that ailing Minnesotas are scamming. That's what I hear from critics all the time. I trust Minnesotans," end quote. Sure you do, Governor Walz. That's why you were basically punishing people trying to investigate the Somali fraud that has now cost your state and federal taxpayers more than $1 billion, some of which went to the al-Qaeda-linked terrorist group al-Shabaab in Somalia. He can't say anything else, because if he does, he knows his political career is over. Item number 2 today, speaking of fraud and potential thereof, Obamacare, or the Unaffordable Care Act, which kicked me off of health insurance 9 years ago. A new report from the Government Accountability Office details a long-running vulnerability in Obamacare exchanges, showing that weak verification controls continue to expose federal subsidies to fraud and abuse. According to the report, the GAO conducted undercover tests by creating fictitious applicants with fake identities, fraudulent or never issued Social Security numbers to see how the federal marketplace would respond. Over the past 2 years, 90% of those fake applications were approved, and these non-existent people started receiving subsidized coverage despite lacking required documentation. As Paul wrote, money is the root of all kinds of evil. That's human nature. Any benefit system, or economic system for that matter, capitalism, socialism, communism, that doesn't account for basic human nature. In other words, we are basically selfish. We look out for ourselves first and foremost, even at the expense of others. And any system that doesn't take that into account, Governor Walz, is doomed to implode. It is doomed to fail. Or as my dad used to say, it appears that most people have rewritten the golden rule and now live according to this guideline: do unto others and do it quick before they can do it to you. But that's not always true. We'll close out with a good story, and you're going to need one of these next on 5 and 10.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you that Skywatch TV is a viewer-supported ministry, and right now when you order the new book, Thomas Horn, The Early Years, which features both complete original works, The Gods Who Walk Among Us, and Spiritual Warfare, The Invisible Invasion, from the SkywatchTVStore.com, we're going to send it to you as our gift for your donation of only $25 or more, which includes free shipping to all U.S. addresses. But right now, and just in time for the holidays, you have an opportunity to upgrade your gift to include the entire Dr. Thomas Horn Definitive Skywatch TV collection that features the complete anthology of all of his greatest television series on 8 DVDs. That's 96 episodes, including the very first pilot of Skywatch TV ever, and has a running time of 45 hours. But this special upgrade also includes Dr. Thomas Horn's Rome and the Star God DVD that reveals the Faustian deal with the devil that has been made between the Vatican and our, quote, alien brothers, as the world awaits the arrival of who they refer to as the Star God. Also included in this special upgrade are both volumes of the Skywatch TV Classics audio series on MP3 audio CD. This incredible, nearly 30-hour collection features 6 of Dr. Thomas Horn's all-time, most listened to audio series ever, including Something Transhuman This Way Comes, The Coming Replacement Humans, As It Was in the Days of Noah, Conspiracy Theory Special Edition, The Coming Zombie Apocalypse, and Psychotronic Warfare. All of these amazing original works sold separately hold a retail value of nearly $300. Yours now for your donation of only $69.99 or more, which again includes free shipping to all U.S. addresses. Once again, your support helps Skywatch TV continue reaching the world with the gospel of Jesus Christ. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the book Thomas Horn, The Early Years, and or Thomas Horn, The Early Years with Special Upgrade Legacy Collection right now.
Item number 1 today. I stumbled across a social media post earlier this week about an 88-year-old gentleman named Ed Bambus. He was met by an Australian positivity influencer by the name of Samuel Wiedenhofer, who met him at a Meijer grocery store in Brighton, Michigan. That's west of Detroit. This 88-year-old gentleman was working a 40-hour week at Meijer as a cashier. He's been forced to work full-time because when he retired from General Motors in 1999, he thought he and his wife could live out their senior years on the pension that he'd been promised by General Motors. But in 2012, General Motors went bankrupt. And when they went bankrupt, they took his pension and the pension of thousands, tens of thousands of other workers who'd retired, and their medical insurance at a time when his wife had become gravely ill. So Bambus said he sold their home, sold some property they'd purchased, managed to make it by, scrape by. She passed away about 8 years ago, but he was left with such medical bills that he had to go back to work. And the one job he was able to find was a cashier at a grocery store, standing on his feet 8.5 hours a day, 5 days a week, at the age of 88. Well, some of Ed's coworkers had nominated him to be featured by this influencer. They said he was a hard worker, dependable, always on time, and never complained. So Sam Wiedenhofer got Ed Bambus to tell his story. Ed teared up when he talked about his wife of 50 years and how he had to sell everything to get by. Sam said, well, we're going to see if we can help you, and I'd like to thank you for helping me today. Here's a $400 tip. And Ed began to cry because he was so moved. Little did he know that Sam Wiedenhofer started a GoFundMe campaign on Monday. As of Wednesday evening, that GoFundMe had raised $1.4 million. And today, in a surprise ceremony at the Meijer grocery store, Ed Bambus was told that he can finally now retire, pay off his debts. There is some good in this world, and it is worth fighting for. And I'm not crying, you're crying. This week on Skywatch TV, we talk about Tom Horn, the early years, and some of the books by Tom that have been out of print for a long time. Defender Publishing has put them together in a 2-for-1 set. Tom Horn, the early years, containing 2 of his early books, The Gods Who Walk Among Us and Spiritual Warfare, The Invisible Invasion. And you get to hear some anecdotes from the family, Joe Artis Horn, Donna Howell, Nita Horn. Don't miss the program. It's available right now at our website, skywatchtv.com. You can also watch it over the air. Our broadcast schedule is posted at skywatchtv.com/channels. Now, we'll broadcast on your schedule if you'll just add the Skywatch TV channel to your set-top box or smart TV. I'm talking Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Google TV, Android TV. We've got apps for all of those, and you can find those in their app stores. Just add that to your smart TV or set-top box, and you're good to go. You can also watch us on the internet, youtube.com/@skywatchtelevision. Please subscribe, share, click the bell for notifications, and hit that like button. Rumble.com/SkywatchTV, or download our free mobile app to your smartphone or tablet. It's available for iOS, Android, or Amazon Kindle Fire devices. We have links to all of those app stores at skywatchtv.com/app. Well, again, this week was a full week of medical testing and doctor's visits. Literally had 5 appointments this week. Most of them were an hour or more away. So wasn't sure we'd be able to get all of our programs done this week. We actually got 4 out of 5, so that's not bad. Had 2 CT scans, one that confirmed that the stent that was inserted to correct an abdominal aneurysm last year at about this time is holding. Everything looks good there, so I don't need to go back for another year as regards that. Had another CT scan of my chest. This was to determine why my diaphragm on the left side is basically stuck in the up position. In other words, when I breathe in and out, it's only the right side of my diaphragm that is moving up and down. So I'm not getting a full tank of air when I breathe in and out. Also had a pulmonary function test because the shortness of breath is in part due to a mild form of COPD. So we got another appointment with the pulmonologist coming up later this month to discuss those results. I didn't pass out during the test, so that was a plus. Visited with the neurologist. The neurologist thinks that the symptoms that I'm displaying are consistent with something called CIDP. So COPD and CIDP. Fun with acronyms this week. That's chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy, which basically means my body's immune system is attacking the nerves in my extremities, my hands and my feet. It's attacked my feet first. They are basically paralyzed at this point. I can get around, but I need a cane to keep my balance. My hands, I'm beginning to lose fine motor skills. And quite honestly, that's why you see me wearing t-shirts all the time lately. I have trouble with buttons and snaps and zippers, eating utensils, pens. I can still type, but my error rate is way up. So we're looking at options for treatment there. There's a protocol that is standard, and that's not a road I want to go down unless I have to. But there's some other options that we're exploring there. And so basically, that is the upshot as of this week. I'm just dealing with some things that are more of a nuisance than anything else, nothing life-threatening. My vascular system, heart, and circulation is all good. That's thankful. I'm thankful for that. And your prayers are what I'm most thankful for, because your support through my Facebook page, emails, messages I've been getting, I truly appreciate that. As long as I can think and speak, then I'll keep slugging away. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.